Howdy, and welcome back to Celebrating Vintage Model Kits. I'm going to be looking at something that's a little unusual. This is a Guillow's kit that was produced in the mid-70s, and it was made to kind of, bring back the nostalgia of building solid wood kits. So it's a very, very strange kit. Guillow's was known for making, stick and tissue flying models. They also made the stuff that you get at like the dime store, the little, 3 or 4 piece balsa flying ones with a little prop on it that you'd throw, or little gliders with a little weight on the nose. So this was kind of a different style of kit for them. They produced it from, as far as I can tell, from about 1975 when when this one here is produced. The catalog for 1975 for Guillow shows this one a 747 and a ship, the USS Constitution, as part of this line of quasi solid wood kits, and it shows up in the 77 catalog. And then it doesn't show up after that, so it does not appear that this was a good seller. Makes note in the catalog that this was supposed to be placed in the same section as plastic kits, which kind of goes along with the style of this boxing. Looks a lot like a plastic kit. This is almost the exact same size box that was used for car kits, as opposed to your stick and tissue kits, which were usually long and skinny to accommodate the tissue and the balsa sheets. So very strange. We'll take a look at this one here. You've got F-4J Phantom, Marine Corps and Navy Air Superiority Fighter. You've got this cutout image of a built kit that hasn't been painted yet. Well, it's been partially painted, but showing the wood on here. And in fact, they make a note to say it's unretouched photo of actual model before additional final colors and decorations. Over 80 parts, 8 years and up. All the fun of natural wood carving. On the side here, we've got a generic photo of an F-4J. It's probably the prototype aircraft. And we've got the size here, an approximate scale of 1/6 inch to 1 foot, which this translates to 1/72. Standard, plastic model kit scale. So I'm surprised they didn't, since they're trying to attract that customer, just call it 1/72 scale. Real old-time model making with smooth texture, golden grain balsa wood. The light, friendly wood that's easy to shape and finish. A little information about the Phantom. This side of the box talks about a little bit about how it's assembled. And so you're going to be using thick sheets of balsa wood to create kind of like a laminated body. And they've got carving templates, special features for young model builders. See bottom of the box, and same photo. On the end, we've got our kit number of 152, Guillow's address, another stock photo. Same thing on this side. And the bottom of the box gives some more information about it here. And special features for young model builders. You can do this without using toxic glue. You can just assemble it with white glue. Rough carve with a potato peeler. And the rest of it can be shaped with sandpaper. You don't have to actually, paint it. It can be displayed just the way that it is. So that's if you don't want your kid getting into any toxic chemicals, I guess. And then here's a list of all the things you're going to need to build this. Basic, wood building stuff. So if you've built wood stuff before, you probably got all this. If this is your first time, there's going to be a bunch of stuff you need to buy. Showing you how it's basically put together, and then another photo of a completed kit. And really emphasizing, hey, we're trying to recreate that nostalgia. And so open it up here. It's printed straight on cardboard. Now we've got our instruction sheet. So another photograph of this assembled model here. Little history, specs, and then assembly tips. And so here they're showing you using an emery board, which, you know, for nail file basically, your potato peeler that you could use instead, sanding the sheets, cutting out the parts or popping them out. And then we've got the layout of some of the parts here and how to pin them together. Also the display stand, how to build that up. Then building the fuselage with all the fuselage parts and the templates. Assembling your wings. Your tail. And your rudder. Tips on how to paint balsa wood. Optional trim. So talking about making, you know, using ink to make all your panel lines and your rudders and stabilators and all that stuff. And then applying decals. And your plastic parts. Got vacuum form plastic parts. How to cut them out and put them on. Assembling them, use glues. Final assembly. And then your display, mounting it on the display stand. And then on the back here, got a nice 3-view drawing of the aircraft and decal placement and painting. Also showing you where to put all the lines if you're going to ink those on there. So this is saying that it's same size as the model. So here's your instructions. And here are the decals. These are still in pretty good shape, but have yellowed a bit. You really see kind of the hand-drawn nature of these decals. And this is saying that it's an F-4J Phantom. The markings that are given here, this 2234, you can see real fine here, they got that as an F-4J 02234. That aircraft doesn't exist. There is an F-4B that was 152234 that was assigned to the squadron that you see represented here, VF-84, the Jolly Rogers. I was able to find some reference in an old article from the 70s talking about different tail markings for F-4s, and it does show this tail marking setup with the 2234 and referencing it as being the 152234, which is an actual real aircraft, and it being an F-4B. What is kind of odd is that it does have the individual aircraft number 206 up on the tail, but then it's got 208 on the fuselage here. The style of these markings for VF-84 is of the early version, the 65, 66 Cruise. The later ones switched to an AE, and the stripe was reversed. It was black with yellow trim on it, and then they went to a Jolly Roger flag on one of the other cruises. So this is probably really supposed to be the markings of an F-4B, and this particular F-4B was delivered in 1965 to VF-84, and then in 66 it went to another squadron and was lost in 66 on a carrier catapult that did not go well, and the aircraft went to the ocean. So it was written off at that time. So, kind of a hybrid, I guess, of markings, or close to a realistic aircraft. So, was not able to find an actual photograph of this specific one, 2234, but there are a number of other photographs of other aircraft from that squadron at this time, and a couple of them are actually numbered as 206. So, show those to you here. Okay, let's look at the kit parts themselves. So here's the piece of sheet balsa. You can see that they're really thick pieces, and they've been die cut. So this is sheet number 5-1, and this has got wing parts, it looks like. We've got, I think, tails and stabilator and vertical fin. Not really cut well all the way through, so probably are going to need to have a knife with this. And here's sheet 5-2. And this one has some of the fuselage parts, it looks like, for building up the sides. This is 5-3 and 5-4, so this is building up the middle part of the fuselage. And here's this one, another similar piece. And then here's the one for the base. Then we have the vacuform sheet with some of the other parts. You got the nose cone here, intake, crew figures, drop tanks, jet, exhaust, tail hook area. And then you get a vacuform canopy as well. Not too bad of a canopy. And there's, in this box, there's some rubber bands here, and the instructions showed a lot of rubber bands being used. I don't know if these came with this or if these were added by somebody at some point. They all seem to be the same rubber band. So it could be kit provided. So there you have it. That is quasi-solid wood kit. Trying to mimic the 30s, 40s, 50s style of solid scale model building. Obviously this didn't take off well because it only lasted a couple of years, and I had never seen one of these before. Trying to find any information about this series online was extremely difficult, so I don't think this sold well at all. So if you have built one of these, definitely tell us about it. Tell us your experience on this. If you got a built one, take a picture of it and send it in so we can share it with the rest of the viewers in the viewer build video. And that's about it for this. So thanks for watching, and have yourself a great rest of your day.